Hello and welcome to Minisode 25.
Hey, first take, and you said minisode.
Yes. And this time we're answering some of your questions that you've spoken in.
Spoken in, yeah.
Sent in. Yeah.
Sent in on our voice recorder thingy. We said any questions will do. So these are like really random selection of questions. I'm just going to do them in random order. So first is Ruben.
Will Alton Towers ever consider converting Spinball Wizard into a more modern spinning ride, sort of like Time Traveller at Silver Dollar City? And if so, would they convert it or just replace it completely?
I have no idea what this one you speak of is.
So Spinball.
Yeah, I know what Spinball was.
What,
the one
Time
at
Traveller?
Towers. I know the one at Towers, but I don't know the other one.
Time Traveller is a Muck Rides extreme spinning coaster.
Okay,
So
what
it's
does
a
that
spinning
mean?
coaster. Imagine Spinball. You take 4 cars, chain them together, 3 or 4, and then now they go through loops and stuff. So it is, and they're launched.
So it's like
launched as well.
mega.
Yeah, it's big. It's
Okay.
proper big. It's really big.
But doesn't that kill you if
No.
you're spinning at the same time?
So the spin is dampened by
Oh.
magnets, so it
Okay.
doesn't freely spin. It spins with resistance,
Right.
so it doesn't spin as much. The answer, Ruben, is no. Sonic Spinball has been earmarked to leave the resort for ages.
Yeah.
They don't
And
want
I'm
it.
surprised it's still there, to be honest.
Yeah,
Because that whole area could be like built up into a new bit.
exactly. You got to think that the area Spinball is in now is just by itself,
Yeah.
and it's an attraction that isn't very big, doesn't really get many on it at any one point in time. You know,
Yeah.
the throughput isn't that great, and as you said, potential expansion for CBBS.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if nothing replaced it
Yeah.
when they got rid of it.
Yeah.
Perhaps a spinning coaster could be a direction that the park goes in. You know, they take Spinball out and say 2 years later we get a big addition and it's a spinning coaster.
Mm.
Who knows?
I don't know if this is just me, but I feel like they're going out of fashion a bit.
Yeah.
Like when they first came out, it was cool because it was a new thing.
Yeah.
But now people are just like,
Yeah, I agree. They are kind of going out of fashion. There's no better orientation is probably not the right word, but there's no better position to experience a roller coaster in than sitting down above the track normally.
yeah.
That's the optimum way.
Yeah, I think spinning coasters look good and they sound good, but when you actually experience them, it's kind of a bit of a weird one.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. See, I kind of prefer the small scale ones, like stuff like the marathon spinners, where they're compact, you know, whippy around, rather than the big ones that are perhaps more like thrill coasters, but they're a lot more graceful and gradual. You know, they're not
Yeah.
as kind of whippy. But yeah, I don't know. I don't suspect that we'll ever see something like that return to the park.
No. Next up is Thomas.
Hello. If you were to design any coaster, what would it be? What elements would it include? What theme would it have, and why? And by the way, I love the channel.
Well, thank you, Thomas. Much appreciated. We're glad that you love the channel. As for the answer,
This is a tough one. This is a question that we ask our guests. I don't know if we've answered it before, though.
I've already said what I'd build before.
Yeah.
Perhaps. I would build a Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster
Yeah.
that starts off with a vertical lift hill that is like 200 feet tall.
Okay, so Carnan.
Yep. You know, it goes through... See, I want a coaster that is both sustained airtime hypercoaster and chaotic inversions compact.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like both combined. Don't know how the hell you do that.
Yeah.
Or whether you say start off with a big airtime hills in the first half and transition to a more whippy layout in the second, but then I feel like perhaps you just integrate massive hills into this design, so sometimes it's compact and fast, and then
Yeah.
you kind of like leap out of, if you can imagine it's a whole area like Taron, and then you have the compact whippiness inside this area, and then every so often you just leap out of the area with
Like
massive
a fish out of water.
yeah, with like massive
so
airtime
weird.
hills.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool.
That sounds cool, but I feel like that'd be really weird
Yeah,
to
oh,
design.
yeah. But that's my ideal, is some Gerstlauer Infinity coaster with a launch that would be placed in the second half to keep momentum of the train. And then inversions, big airtime hills, lots of fast transitions. As for a theme, don't know. I hate themes. I can't really think of them. I wouldn't want one that's overly done. You know, I'd want to try and come up with a whole unique concept. Stuff like what Alton Towers does, where they just take an idea and run with it. And you're like, where the hell did you come up with that? You know?
Yeah.
What
I
about
feel
you?
like you'd want the whole area to be that theme as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know. Because I feel like was Helix
Mack
ride?
Rides launch
Mack
coaster.
Rides launch coaster. that's hard to
Multi-launch
say.
coaster.
That's my go-to like ride type, but I don't know what theme I would do. Theme's really hard. You'd have to like think about a theme for a very long time to make it a good one.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like maybe I don't know because I like it when there's like a theme that's like Disney. Do you know what I mean? So like a ride in a Disney park that has a Disney theme.
Right.
So I'd want it to be like Tangled or something
Uh-huh.
because I just get that theme.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So maybe a launch coaster
A
themed to
tangled
Tangled
launch coaster
Yeah.
doesn't work really,
No.
does it?
No. We'll
What-
have to think about this.
What kind of layout would you take your launch coaster in? You know, you've done 2 of those Mack coasters, Icon and Helix.
I would want it to be in a Disney-esque like area, so it's not a legit hill like Helix is on, but it's in an area that's like really densely like
Populated.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so
yeah.
you're like in and out of stuff and
So
going
like,
up and down.
Like Taron.
Yeah, but more trees.
Oh, okay.
So
Inversion?
like a forest
Yeah.
with maybe the tangled like big tower,
Yeah.
and then there's different scenes that you kind of go past or whatever.
Would you have inversions?
A couple,
A couple.
not that bothered.
Multi-launch? 2 launches?
Sure,
Sure.
airtime hills galore.
Yeah. I don't think this works, does it really?
No, it doesn't work.
No.
We need to think about this for a very long time.
Yeah.
We need to start a project to design these.
There you go. Get in
yeah.
Planet Coaster and start designing your
Yeah, we already tried that.
Tangled.
Do you remember when I tried to build that
Oh,
castle?
is that what you're trying to do?
No, that was just me trying to build an actual castle.
You should have a go at building this
It
tangled
took me
multi-launch.
it took me so long, and I couldn't even do it in the end.
Practice makes perfect.
Hours I need, days and weeks and months. Next question is from Caleb.
What would be your number 1 bucket list park and or ride that you have not yet been to?
Parks.
Disney Tokyo Sea.
Tokyo Disney Sea.
Yeah, that
That's
one.
the one.
All the words in the wrong order.
Yeah.
Defo.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
For sure. That is like number 1.
Sure, that's the bucket list park. You might as well bundle both of the parks, right? So just Tokyo Disney Resort
Yeah.
as a whole. In terms of a roller coaster that I'd like to get on, X2.
Meh, I'm not that fussed about that. I don't think I'm fussed about any actual roller coasters. I just want to go on the dark rides. Like the new Star Wars one, Flight of Passage or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Those ones. And Journey to the Centre of the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, something about like if I was there in a park and there was a big roller coaster, sure I'd go on it. But I don't think it makes my bucket list unless it's like exceptionally themed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, I just want to try out the weird and crazy rides,
Yeah.
which X2 is.
But essentially then you're just bucket listing like a sensation. Because you don't really care what ride it is, right?
Yeah.
You just want to try that thing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
sort of try that
So-
thing. Well, I want it to be X2 rather than say Aeginica because Magic Mountain is quite a famous park. You know, it's got lots of famous roller coasters in it. So if you went to ride X2, you'd be in Magic Mountain.
So you're just practically thinking about that.
Yeah. So it's how can I experience this model and
In the
this
best way.
sensation and be at the best park is the way
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
So that's it. X2. As I said, X2 is famous. It's just, I remember reading about it or knowing about it when I was a kid. So it's just got a lot of clout.
Next up is David.
Have you ever waited a ridiculous time for a kiddie coaster credit?
I don't think we have, The only one that springs to my mind is when we were at Towers, when the Americans came and we queued up for Octonauts.
We didn't wait long.
We didn't wait long.
No.
But that's what I mean. Because we don't queue
It's like
long.
5 minutes.
That's
10.
But that's our thing. We don't queue for a kiddie ride.
No.
We only go on them if there's no queue.
Yeah. Let's have a think of parks.
What about when you went with the Americans to like Europe?
Wallaby Holland, no. Heidi Park, no.
Surely it was quite quiet anyway.
It was. Hansa Park, no. Okay, so the one thing or several that I can think of is they're not really kiddie though. Europa Park has like loads of roller coasters. Like crappy Mack Rides, Wild Mouse coasters. Queued up 40 minutes for that.
Yeah,
it's
but
not really
again, I
kiddie,
don't
is
really
it?
think that counts.
No.
We just don't do that kind of thing. Like we don't go and get all the credits in a park,
No.
which is where you'd probably end up queuing. because you want to get that one credit.
No, yeah, we're definitely people who would rather ride the big rides more than get the credits.
Yeah.
I'd definitely rather ride the star ride in a park than just get an additional credit. Yeah, I honestly don't think we've waited at all for any like small coasters.
It's because we refuse to.
Yeah, I mean, if you're counting then like smaller than your classic Wild Mouse or powered coaster, but they're family, right? They're not really kiddie. Yeah, so no.
Because then you could argue is Flying Fish a family ride or a kiddie ride?
Family, I guess.
Yeah, but
I
that's
haven't even
tiny.
waited long for that.
No. Yeah, because who's queuing for Flying Fish?
Exactly.
Let's be real. Okay, next question is from Dan.
Dan the man.
I don't know.
Did Pinfari make more coasters or fiberglass apples?
What?
Oh right. So
Did they make more coasters or more fiberglass apples?
you get the joke.
No.
It's
Of course
like,
I don't.
So you've got your Caterpillar coasters.
Right.
They build like fiberglass apples for the roller coaster to go through because it's the caterpillar. So the caterpillar goes
Right.
through the apple.
Okay, so it's like a piece of theming.
Yeah, a piece of theming.
And they make them for like every ride.
I don't know. I don't know who makes them, whether they do or not. But
Well, that insinuates that they make them.
one of the funny things was that I'm pretty sure I think this is a thing that Blackpool bought or got someone's Caterpillar coaster that had a big apple, and they lost the big apple. So then
they had to buy a big apple?
No, they didn't buy one. They just built it without the apple.
Oh,
Maybe that's what it's on about. I got no idea. It's a really weird question.
take a guess. I'd
Sure.
say more coasters.
I would also agree. You'd expect an amusement rides manufacturer to build more roller coasters than Apple.
Imagine if it's apples though.
But if every park did a Blackpool and lost their Apple, who knows?
Yeah, maybe they've got big profits to be made here. Second to last question
Yep.
is from Slovis.
What do you think Hansa Park's next coaster will be?
This is a good question. I like this one. So let's have a look at what they've already got.
Mm-hmm.
So they've already got Carnan, which is
a big boy.
It's hard to describe. Basically, Hansa Park is full of the main rides at Hansa Park are just unlike any kind of ride. Anyway, like they've got Flug von Novgorod, which is a launched coaster and a vertical lift hill coaster, and it's weird.
Right.
And they've got Carnan, which is
also
massive,
quite unique.
which is weird. I don't know. They could do with anything. They could put in an airtime focus ride. They could put in an inversion focus ride. They could put in a wooden coaster. They could put in a launched coaster that focused on either airtime or inversions. They could get away with all of it.
So is it that they've not really got any of the basic rides? They've got like really weird ones that no one else really has. So they could do with like the staple things.
Well, the staple things are overrated. That's just the core.
Right.
Like, a staple ride at a theme park is an inverted coaster. Every theme park has an inverted coaster. Like a Nemesis or a Infusion, one of those. But they're all overrated because every park has one, right?
So you think they're going to stick on the trend of getting weird rides?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Or at least weird in the sense that not many parks in that region or Europe has them.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do have an old Schwarzkopf looping coaster that's got one inversion on it. Mm-hmm. As I said, Flug von Novgorod, it's like a launched sit-down coaster, but it doesn't really do anything. But it does stuff at the same time. It's got one inversion on it as well. Carnan is like a fast-paced, chaotic ride. The way I describe Carnan is it's like a wooden coaster that's not wooden.
Right.
Whereas it goes for the sensations of speed, chaos, and relentlessness, but it's not wooden.
Right.
I like that. I'm proud that I just thought of that. So there you go. Which is unlike anything else anyway.
Yeah.
So as I said, big B&M Hyper, cool. Mm-hmm. Big GCI Woody, cool.
So what you're saying is I have no idea what they're going to get.
They could get nearly anything,
yeah,
and it would really be good. But hopefully they stick to the trend of building unique rides with crazy, elaborate themes and really good storytelling, which I'm sure they will because that's the direction they've been going for decades.
Yeah,
over a decade.
Okay, last question. This is from Coastery Aris, I think.
What does your closer friends and family think about you being into roller coasters?
Isn't that such a good question?
It is a very good question.
That's a really funny question.
I like that one. That one's quite unique. They
find it funny, I think.
Most people, whenever... Well, you know, at work, whenever I'm doing something and, you know, meeting new people, they're always like, oh, you know, tell us.
One fact about
Yeah,
yourself.
please, you know, who are you? Give us an interesting fact. And I'm like, yeah. So I start off going, oh yeah, I'm a theme park enthusiast. You know, I travel to different theme parks around the world and experience the different rides. And then if I'm feeling it, I'll push in. Yeah, I make videos about it as well.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
You know.
Everyone I tell, I'm like, oh yeah, my boyfriend does YouTube videos about roller coasters, so we travel a lot, like going to them.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my god, wow.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my gosh, do you get to go on all these holidays? And I'm like, yeah, but it's not like a holiday, is it? It's like your whole life.
Yeah, I think
Like they don't really get it. They think it's like
No.
a fun thing.
well, it's
Which
a
it
fun
is.
thing.
But to them,
Yeah.
they don't see the deeper levels of it,
No,
I don't
of course
think.
they don't. I just think people get quite surprised because they haven't
Yeah.
really heard of it or
Yeah.
even thought about it.
Yeah.
That people would go to different countries to experience the rides.
But I do that as well with people's hobbies.
Exactly.
When they say something that's so ordinary to you and they're like, oh yeah, this is my hobby, and you're like, oh wow, okay.
Exactly. So I don't know. Yeah, everyone we've told has pretty much been supportive of the channel and of,
Well, your family loves it, don't
yeah,
they?
they do.
They love it.
So-
And my brother watches all the videos.
Yep.
And his girlfriend, they love it. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's a good pastime for everyone. I guess it's funny that they just get to see what we're up to as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Just in general, not many people really realize that people are into theme parks
Yeah.
just as a hobby.
As a rule. Mhm.
So if you tell anyone, you know, you're a theme park enthusiast and you ride roller coasters because that's what you're
It's
interested
so
in.
exotic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It really is
Yeah.
exotic. You know, people say, "Oh, I like to travel." You're like, "Yeah, sure, you like to travel."
Yeah.
But if you go, "I like to travel for roller
To a
coasters,"
theme park.
people are like, "Whoa, hold on a minute." You know, it's
Yeah.
just a whole separate kind of weird thing.
It's weird because how long has it been you've had the channel now? Like 5 years.
It's coming up to 5 years.
And so like it just seems so normal to do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
To base your holidays around theme parks and like doing this every day, like talking about stuff. Even though I'm not even that into it. It's funny how like normal it is, and then you realise that to everyone else it's kind of weird.
But it's kind of been a gradual increase,
Yeah.
really, hasn't it?
Yeah. But that's why it's so normal, because it's
Yeah.
just kind of blended into our
Yeah, we
lives and like
didn't-
shaped it all.
It wasn't, you know, channel, and then we just constantly. We didn't really do much I didn't really do much in 2015. And 2016, we started to get you into
Yeah.
more of things, and then 2017 was a few. We went abroad for Guardland.
Yeah,
didn't
that was
we?
our first like dedicated part of our holiday, right?
Yeah, and then 2018 went to a few opening
Yeah,
things, didn't we?
that started off.
Wicker Man preview, stuff like that. I went to Icon preview, so every year it just seems to kind of get a bit.
Ramps up a level.
Yeah, and obviously this year was meant to be quite big.
Yeah.
So
It is still quite big. We're doing things. Things are happening.
sure, sure they are.
Sure. Let's keep
Sure.
telling ourselves that,
Yeah,
eh?
but who knows? Who knows? They'll continue to be big. It all kind of I don't know.
Anyway,
Scrap
bottom
that.
line, people love it.
Yeah.
Interesting fact. There you go. If you're ever in that situation,
Yep.
just use that fact.
You're ever at work or at school and you need to say an interesting thing about yourself, just say that you're into roller coasters and
Yeah.
that you know specifically travel to theme parks
Yeah.
when you get the chance to.